Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to all the new subscribers that just landed here today. I have a very special message for all of you today. This comes in the back of an article that I wrote for my blog and that I also posted on my Patreon page, where I shared what I've been going through lately. So it took me a very long time to be able to sit down and record something or even write. I could witness my own resistance going through the whole process of not wanting or not being ready to fully share what has been going on. This is a very intense season for all of us. We're all going through a major awakening as the world is waking up all around us. It is impossible for other people to wake up around you and you remain in the same place. There's just no way that that can happen. You know, you must evolve, you must grow as well, and you will feel it on a collective level. You will feel the anxiety. You will feel like old fears are pushing you back and just making you look at certain things again. Old emotions surfacing, old relationships, could even be family matters are very present now within the collective, where you have to address situations that were left in the past because we were not ready to deal with them yet. So I came to a space where I didn't know how to help people anymore. It was really tough for me. Mostly because when I started this journey was with the intention of bringing stillness, to bring inner peace, to allow other people to connect with spirit the same way that I do. And I wanted you all to have the same abilities, the same skills, the same drive, the same motivation to elevate yourself and to tap into your full potential. So it is a delicate and sensitive work to do, because I always need to remove my own judgment, my own mind, my own thoughts, my own beliefs out of the way, to allow spirit to come through so that I can empower you in the best way possible, and so that you can make healthy decisions for yourself without my interference, right? And so I always try to do that in the most honest way possible. My sessions are very healing, but they're very fun as well. If you have connected with me through a session, you will know that my guides communicate in a very funny way. They always bring analogies, and it is healing. More than anything, it is healing. It's not so much that they are predictive, but they have the purpose of opening your mind to new ideas and allowing you to see beyond the illusion, to gain more clarity in your life, to feel more connected with your source, with your creator. And so as I went about that journey myself, I started to understand that the messages that I had translated and interpreted in the past didn't seem like they were coming about in the physical. And I had to stop myself and wonder what I was doing. And it was not until a couple of months ago that I realized the depth of my messages. And it just made me feel very disconnected from the twin flame journey. It made me stop believing in twin flames and in unions, and I felt completely disconnected and dislocated. So this might be a process that you are going through, or that you are feeling the initial symptoms of, right? When you feel like you're an outcast, right? Because things are happening for other people but not happening for you, and then other things are happening to you and not happening to other people. So it's a normal process during your spiritual journey that you almost have to look back and think, God, you know, I was happier when I didn't have all of this crap on top of me, right? It's hard to be awakened because I need to use my forgiveness. I need to use my compassion. And I see other people who are not doing it, and they thrive in life, you know. They get new jobs, they get more money, they travel, they get everything they want. And here I am, you know, going through this spiritual journey, but not getting anything in return. So I felt like that as well, you know. And I had someone asking me the other day if I ever felt angry towards other twins. And I told her not at other twins, but I would feel angry with God and with my guides and thinking like, how come I'm helping other people getting what they want and what they need, but I'm not seemingly getting what I want and what I need, right? And it just took me on a journey of understanding more, going deeper, really trying to analyze all the messages that I've brought through. So going forward, the content of my channel and my Patreon page and my blog is going to change dramatically. I won't be talking about twin flames or karmics or soulmates or catalysts or any of that, but it is my intention now to bring even more stillness and end the suffering. That is my purpose, is to end the suffering and end the illusion of the journey. So I've come to realize that all the time that I was talking about union and twin flames, I was being honest, I was being sincere, and my guides were taking me to where I needed to go. It was just a matter of shifting my perspective in regards to what a twin flame is and what a twin flame represents in your life. So I don't believe in the label of twin flame as we have learned so far. I do believe that those people are a special connection that we have in our lives. We have shared many lifetimes with them, and this is just another experience that we're having. Ultimately, the union that I've been talking about is the union between you and God. So I understand that this message is gonna upset some people, is gonna trigger some others, it's gonna challenge you to have to go deeper and really look at your own journey from this perspective, but I can assure you that it will bring you peace and it will make you understand so many things. It will bring you a lot of clarity in your life. So in this concept of the union with God, if you look back at all the messages that you have received, maybe you had sessions with other people, or maybe you follow some channels and you follow the readings about twin flames, I want to challenge you to look at it and replace the term twin flame with God, and instead of the physical union, you understand that it is your closeness, your togetherness with God and the concept of oneness. And the third party that you hear about, or the interference, or anything that is blocking you, is your mind, is your ego mind, is your thoughts, your beliefs, your ego needs. And I mean this in a loving way, because we all have ego, and it's our ego that needs to wake up to our spirituality and not the other way around. So in that process of understanding that the union that we've been hearing about is our union with God, it just brought me into a place of understanding that it was never about that person. It was never about us either. It's really the idea that we are here to witness our own unfolding, the unfolding of unconditional love through our bodies, the unfolding of God through our ego, through the death of our ego, right? So if we are here to witness our own unfolding, it just means that we cannot be focused on the unfolding of other people, because that will just stop our own unfolding. So when you say that I'm going to wait for this person, or I can only be with this person, you are stopping your unfolding, and you are stopping the unfolding of that relationship. You are stopping the unfolding of that love in the physical as well. Right? Because what you're saying is, this is what I know and I believe that I deserve, and so I will wait here for it to come to me. When in reality, we don't know what we want. How could we possibly know what we want if we don't know our full potential? Right? So it's that awakening that is happening with all of us. Us understanding, wait a minute, I know nothing when I thought I knew everything. Right? I thought I knew this person. I thought I knew myself. I thought I knew what I wanted. I thought I knew what I needed. And it's exactly this shift and this transition that I went through of understanding, how can I be asking things to God when I'm supposed to be a manifestation of God down here? What the hell am I doing? How can I be so focused, so obsessed, so driven to go for something that is coming from my ego when I know that my mission is bigger than that? And I'm not saying that unions don't happen. Unions are happening through the process of you getting to God. So it can be that that person comes into your life. It can be that a new person comes into your life. It can be that you get a new, it's not a new counterpart, but it doesn't mean that that person is not going to be your life partner. In many cases I have seen with my clients, it really is. But that can only happen through your own unfolding, through the unfolding of God through you. And not you just focusing on that relationship, right? So now imagine that you are a manifestation of God down here. And up until now, you've been through a lot of suffering along your journey. You've been through abuse, you've been through addictions, you've been through a lot of crap, right? And you come out of that tunnel, you come out of that suffering. And it's hard to remember who you are because you identify yourself with the pain and the suffering that you went through. But up until now, Spirit has been guiding you and carrying you in that healing. It brought you out of the tunnel. It brought you into the clarity that you have today. It brought you out of that cycle of suffering and hurt that is caused by our mind that it's separate from source. So if up until now Spirit has guided you and carried you here, it is time for you to stop and understand that it is time for me to carry Spirit within myself. It's exactly that transition, that shift that it's happening now. Is you understanding Spirit has been here for me, for my own awakening, for my own enlightenment. And now it is time for me to carry Spirit forward. So if I am here as a manifestation of God, how can I be asking God for physical things that I don't even know that I want or need? He knows best. He brought me here. Right? So this amazing shift that is happening, of you understanding that you are here to be of service, and that surrender to that being of service and the surrender to your soul mission, it is happening. And the only resistance that you will experience is from your ego mind trying to battle all of that, trying to grasp onto the physical things that you have believed that you needed up until now, including money, jobs, houses, relationships, even the physical side of you. All of those things are wanted and needed by your ego mind. Your soul doesn't need anything. Your soul is complete, is one with God, is one with everything. It doesn't feel separation. It doesn't feel lack. It lives in abundance. So anything that comes from lack and anything that comes from the absence of that abundance of oneness, closeness, and togetherness can only come from the ego mind. And the ego mind doesn't know what it wants. Right? So it is time for you to be more authentic than ever. It is time for you to review your visions. And it is time for you to allow Spirit to come through. And you can only do that by getting out of your own way. That's the only thing you need to do every day, is get out of your own way. Get your mind out of the way. Right? Because we are love and we should express ourselves in love. But what happens is our fear stops us and blocks us from being love. And our judgment gets in the way of that love manifesting itself. So that shift is really just your surrender to Source, your surrender to the service that you are supposed to be doing down here, but also understanding that you don't fully know who you are. So you can never know what you want, but God does. So getting out of your own way so love can happen. And this love is not just the love with someone, it's the love in your life, the love of your prosperity, the love of your abundance, the love of your compassion, the love of your forgiveness. Get out of your own way, which is what I struggled for a very long time, getting out of my own way. And I'm like, God damn it, it's time to talk about these things, because the illusion needs to end. The illusion needs to be broken. Is it going to be easy? No, goddamn it, it's not. I was talking with someone the other day, and he said something really beautiful that really touched me. He said, it's not that I am happier now, it's that I'm less unhappy now. And we're all breaking away from that concept of happiness, because what used to make us happy no longer makes us even slightly happy, right? Things are not satisfying anymore, because we don't go along with the distractions that used to work for us. For me, it was alcohol, for instance. That was a big distraction for me. I've been sober for more than a year now. Hooray to me. But it's just that awakening is happening. And if you go back to the memory of your first initial spiritual awakening, you will understand that it takes time. It takes time to go through all of these transitions, and you're going to feel aggravated, you're going to feel frustrated, you're going to feel angry, you're going to feel anxious, you're going to feel depressed, you're going to feel like you're having a major burnout. All the fears are going to come up to the surface. The fear of death, the fear of insanity, the fear of not having enough money, the fear of not succeeding, the fear of not being important, the fear of not being meaningful, worthy of receiving what's coming for you, right? All of those fears come up to the surface because you're waking up. So your first spiritual awakening is about you and the world. And then you go through this awakening, which is between you and your illusion, right? It's the waking up to God. So if up until now you woken up to spirit itself, now spirit has been preparing you to wake up to God, to wake up to your source, to wake up to the clarity, to wake up to your truth. And that's not an easy thing to go through, right? So my love goes to all of you going through that process. I know what it is. I've been there. But I can guarantee you that it gets better. It gets better. Once you come out of the illusion and the obsession of the things you thought you needed to have in life in order to succeed. So it's really waking up to God and understanding that the only thing that you need to do every day is get out of your own way, is to allow God to come through and perform what He needs to perform, right? You're here to be the words that God wants to speak through you. You're here to be the healing hand that God wants to perform through you. You're here to do exactly what God cannot come down here and do it within the stream that we have created for all of us collectively, right? So if you're here to be that expression of God, God would not dwell on lack. God would not dwell on the things that you don't have, right? Because what gets you upset along the journey, it's not the things that you see, it's the things that you don't see. You're not angry at the things that you have. You're angry at the things that you don't have. So you're constantly basing your beliefs on the concept of separation and lack, and not one of abundance, which is complete, it's whole, and it needs nothing else. It just needs to be, exist, right? So I'm going to leave it at that today, but I just wanted to be very clear that this channel is going to take a whole new approach. The channelings are going to be completely different. The messages are going to be completely different. And this is really for the ones who are ready to be elevated, to be ascended, to transcend the illusion, to look for the clarity, and to live in the truth of this universe, okay? So a lot of the things that I'll be talking about are under the concept of non-dualism, and I won't be talking about specific connections, such as the twin flame, or soulmates, or karmics, or catalysts. I'm really going to explain through spirit. I'm going to get out of my own way and allow God to come through and give you the messages that you need for that ascension process that you're going through. But I will no longer be focusing on the topic of twin flames and those unions, okay? I will be talking about your union with God, and if your union with other people happens through the process of your union with God, then so be it, and so it is done. But it is not my purpose to focus on that anymore. So for my ride and die, ready to go followers, let's do this. And for the ones who don't feel ready and don't resonate with this message, I'll be here for you as well anytime you need. No judgment, okay? So going forward, all my messages will be public and available to everyone, and the only way for me to do that is to rely on the support of all of you. And you can do it through my Patreon page, and you can also do it through donations to the channel. I will leave the links down below. If you feel like you need extra guidance specifically for your journey, because you feel like you're going through a major transition and you need that clarity in your life, feel free to reach out to me for a private session. I would love to connect with you and guide you along your way. I'm wishing you an amazing day. I'm sending you so much love and so many blessings, and I'm really praying that you stay safe and protected within the power of your own heart. Big love to all of you.